This is the iPhone 17 Pro Max. As if you couldn't tell, look at this camera, it's huge! And this is the iPhone 16 Pro Max. Ew, looks old. No, it doesn't. Okay, for real, which of these is the better option? You may be looking at a discounted 16 Pro Max, or maybe you have a 16 Pro Max and are super tempted to upgrade. So let's dial it back. The old iPhone 16 Pro Max is the last premium Apple phone with a titanium frame, at least for the foreseeable future. If you care about that, the 16 Pro models are for you. Of course, there's a good reason for the switch back to aluminum. It's about cooling, but we'll talk about that in the performance section. There's also a reason for this at first ridiculous looking camera bump here. One, it's for the cooling, again, as all internal components of the phone were rearranged. Two, it's for better antennas and reception, supposedly. That doesn't mean that you can't hate it. If I'm honest, one does get used to it, and rest assured that within a year this will be the most desirable phone design all around, right? But if you'd rather have this corner square design, again, the iPhone 16 Pro and Max are your last chance. There's another reason I like the 16 Pro Max here too, the frame edges. Apple went from completely sharp corners to the slightly beveled ones with the iPhone 15 series. Now they're even more rounded and softer on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. Many people praise this for being easier on the hand, but when you're handling a phone that's this big and you have some extra edge to jab into your hand, it actually improves grip. What I'm saying is that I feel like I'm in danger of dropping the iPhone 17 Pro Max more often than I am with the 16 Pro Max. Both the 16 Pro and 17 Pro have the camera control button and the action button in the same positions too, so my complaints about the camera shutter key being too far into the frame still remains. You can't really hold this phone comfortably like a camera. So the first big upgrade we will talk about is the screen. The iPhone 17 Pro Max now hits 3000 nits of peak brightness versus 2000 before. Now, not only that, it also has a new anti-glare coating applied. To be honest, I was hoping it would be as strong as the one on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, but it's not. Still, it's a fine upgrade over the iPhone 16 Pro Max. In terms of resolution, refresh rate, color quality, and features like True Tone and Night Shift, both screens are pretty much the same. And lovely. Next, we have the performance. As I touched upon earlier, the thermal management of the iPhone 17 Pro Max has been improved. It's a combination of vapor cooling chamber inside and a redesign of the internals, and using aluminum instead of titanium for the body, so heat dissipates more effectively. Add to that a new Apple A19 Pro chip, which is faster than before, and we have an iPhone 17 Pro Max that not only crushes benchmarks, but sustains performance for much longer. As you can see here on the benchmarks, the iPhone 16 Pro Max couldn't last a single cycle on the 3D Mark wildlife test before throttling, whereas the iPhone 17 Pro Max gradually goes down. In real life, this brings about actual improvements when playing those AAA titles that have been launched on the App Store. More frames and more stable frames for a smoother experience. So this is not your regular small Apple upgrade. This is actual tangible performance improvement, so kudos for that. There are tangible camera upgrades too, or rebalances, reworks if you wish. So the iPhone 17 Pro Max has 48 megapixels under all its lenses now. Ultra wide, wide and zoom. The Tetra Prism zoom lens now zooms to 4 times, unlike the 16 Pro Max, which goes to 5x. It might seem like a downgrade. There are arguments for both sides, but by using sensor cropping trickery, Apple gives us more zoom steps now and a higher max zoom, now up to 40x from 25x on the 16 Pro Max. In all honesty though, the 16 Pro Max is no slouch. If we look at these 10x zoom samples, it provides a slightly sharper and more contrasty image. The main camera is mostly the same, though it's curious to see Apple moving back to that yellowish tint that iPhones used to have before. Some photos come out looking warmer and more pleasant, others are a bit too yellow. Sometimes exposure comes out a bit different on the two models, but it's no big deal as both samples end up looking good. Importantly, details are mostly the same. And of course, both of these phones support the advanced photographic styles, which means you can fine-tune the camera's colors and contrast. My favorite style to play with is the neutral one. And if you're the kind of person who loves smartphones, PhoneArena is releasing the ultimate coffee table book for phone fans. It's a passion project in the making for over a year, with deep dives and high-res photos of the most iconic, experimental, evolutionary mobile phones since the 2000s. We also got takes and quotes from big tech influencer names: Linus Tech Tips, Max Tech, Mr. Who's the Boss, Super Saf, Rig Everything, Austin Evans, Brandon Butch, John Rettinger, in no particular order. Exclusive limited run print is scheduled to release this fall. Link in the description for details and email notification. The iPhone 17 Pro Max now has real Pro features, believe it or not. You can record in ProRes RAW and Log 2 format, so you can color grade your high quality footage to look more cinematic and professional. Two caveats: you need to use Final Cut Camera app to access those formats, and you can only record them if you connect an external hard drive. So if you're not a pro or an aspiring content creator, you won't really care about that. The selfie camera is a bigger upgrade for us casual users. The most Apple thing I've seen in a while. The sensor is now square-shaped, so you can crop your selfies however you like. You can take a horizontal selfie by holding the phone upwards. It takes 18 megapixel photos. Apple also uses that sensor to give you more stable vlogging footage. You can literally jog and record yourself with the selfie camera, and it comes out surprisingly good. Okay, last upgrade, kinda, battery life. If you live in the US, the iPhone 17 Pro Max only supports eSIM. And Apple used that freed up space for a slightly bigger battery, which goes above 5000 mAh. Anywhere else in the world, you still have a SIM card tray and a slightly smaller battery around 4800 mAh. It's still bigger than the cell in the 16 Pro Max, which is about 4700 mAh, a little less. Does any of that matter? Well, in our tests, the two phones performed about the same. In fact, the 16 Pro Max lasted a little bit longer on some of them. Worth to note, we have the SIM version of the 17 Pro Max, so you can expect that the eSIM one may be able to edge out the 16 Pro Max a little bit. In the end, should you upgrade? Only if you care about the sustained gaming performance or the new Pro camera features, and that's still a bit up there. The iPhone 17 Pro Max is an excellent phone and a pretty good jump forward, but the 16 Pro Max, it's no slouch. If you don't have any of these two and are wondering which one to go for, an argument can be made that if you find a deal on the 16 Pro Max now that it's discontinued, it might be a better choice. But if you have a burning desire to get the newest and best, it's certainly justified. Go ahead, treat yourself. And also treat our subscribe button and like button to a little loving. I'll see you in the comments section. Bye!